favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be the first and the second and the third and the rest of it.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, you may have noticed that I've skipped a few episodes here on Eldarya, so it was taking me way too long to catch up. So, I did all the episodes off screen so that I could catch up in time for the new release. And I'm still on Nevra's route, even though sometimes, I do wish I had gone for a certain demon's route, but that is what replays are for, I suppose. So, where we stand going into episode 26, so we have been kidnapped by Lance, and I have to admit that I'm not entirely disapproving of that. You probably don't know, but I kind of have a bit of a thing for Lance. So, I have high expectations for this episode, but let's jump into it and see what happens. I should also probably mention that I'm absolutely terrible at getting illustrations on Eldarya, so don't expect too much. I'm pretty much just going to play around with options and pick what I want and see what happens, and I'm probably not going to get illustrations, but that's okay. That is also what replays are for. So let's do this. Oh, I didn't even read the beginning of it. Oh my god. Okay, we don't need to read the summary. We all know what happened, right? We've been kidnapped, right? That's what happened. Okay, start episode 26 of Eldarya. Yes, please. The creatures jumped in the direction of Nevra. My poor vampy boy. Even though, I would totally join the dark side if Lance asked me. All he has to do is ask. Anyway, just so you know. My heart was smashed into pieces at the thought of my loved one being eaten up. Go away, run. Nevra. I was shouting out loud to the point of hurting my vocal cords, but I had to warn Nevra of the danger awaiting him. Pretty sure he's going to notice. Despite the distance, I could see the slimy faces of those creatures distort themselves as they got closer to him. I understood they were attracted by the smell of blood, and they only had one thing in mind: eating Nevra. My heart was writhing in pain. Every inch closer to him was torture to me. I couldn't bear it. Nothing's going to happen to him. Stop being so dramatic. And at the thought of Nevra dying, I lost my mind. Then again, it is Eldarya. I mean, they killed children. I suddenly had a panic attack. I was breathless. I was starting to suffocate. I had never experienced anything like this before. The love of my life, kind of, was heading to certain death, and I was powerless. I'm so horrible. I had to do something. I couldn't just let him die without having at least tried everything I could to save him. Jump off the boat! Oh my god, jump overboard. That'll solve everyone's problems. My anxiety was turning to rage, and it was growing by the second. I couldn't contain it. I threw myself at Lance like a madman, hoping I would push him overboard. And no, stop! And his body would be food to the Marids instead of my boyfriend's. Even if that meant I had to fall as well. How about you don't do that to him? But the dragon's instinct was more efficient than my desire to destroy him. He dodged me with surprising ease and violently grabbed me by the hair to stop me. I screamed in pain, feeling my hair being pulled like that, but that didn't stop me. I struggled as fiercely as I could. In a split second, Lance pulled me backwards and my back was pressed against his chest. I moaned with pain. Pain. Yes. Then sorry, I'm totally going to be like this the whole episode. I apologize in advance. Then he pressed his hand against my chin and forced me to look up. He wanted me to see the dreadful sight of what was about to happen. A macabre comedy featuring the man I loved being eaten up by horrible creatures. Starring Nevra. That's so mean. Watch your boyfriend get eaten up, Airy. Watch his blood pour out into the sea. Soon enough, there will be nothing left of him, just like this world. No, I don't want to. My voice broke, just like my heart. Tears were flowing down my cheeks. I kept struggling in vain, for as long as my body could still fight. But Nevra was quick-witted and agile. I still had hope he would find a way to get out of this. How far in the water is he? Doesn't he just have to, turn back and go into the sand? Or can these creatures, go on land? I don't know what's going on. I had to believe in him and his ability to survive, and as long as I didn't see him dead, I couldn't despair. It was at this moment that Lance decided to break the visual link that united us in this torment. His hand slid to my neck and tightened around it. Your whining is getting on my nerves. Same. Same, I don't want to be whining. His hand is so tense, I can feel its slightest shaking. He's serious this time. The pressure became more and more unbearable. My sight started to get blurry, and whatever strength I still had in me left my body. I could feel my mind slide into darkness, and my heart. My heart was dying slowly at the thought that the man I loved would soon be no longer part of this world. Nevra, why him? Why me? No, something so dramatic, girl. Kill me now. I don't want to suffer anymore. It's fine, you've escaped the guard, you should be happy. I mean, I'm happy. No, I have other plans for you. Oh, goody, I like this. Those words struck me like lightning before paralyzing my body completely. What did he intend to do with me? What kind of abuse was I going to go through now that I was his prisoner? Just stop. Stop. Me and Guardy, we just don't think the same things, you know? In response to this threat, my mind shut down and I fell into a deep sleep. I woke up. I don't know how long afterwards. My throat was aching and I swallowed hard several times. I immediately wanted to bring my hands to my neck, but I couldn't. I couldn't move. I was tied to the ship's mast with my hands behind my back. Lovely, that must be so comfortable. I scanned the horizon to try and figure out where we now were. I realized we were out of the LC. A question popped into my mind. What had happened to Nevra? Oh my god, Nevra! Stop thinking about him. Was he dead? Eaten up by those dreadful creatures? Or had he survived thanks to some unknown miracle? He is fine. My brain was overcome with doubt and loads of questions. I was trying to keep calm and hoped with all my heart that he was still alive. Did you sleep well? Like a ninja! Lance was by my side. I hadn't heard him coming. I said, did you sleep well? I looked away. I refused to dignify him with a response. I can still see him in the water, surrounded by those unknown creatures thirsting for blood. Why would I sleep while tied to a mast? God, Lance. I need to get to the bottom of this. But will Lance yield to answering me? My throat hurts. Do you have something to ease the pain? Poor little thing. That's what you get for misbehaving. If you had been nicer, I wouldn't have been forced to act this way. I had my reasons to act like I did. I apologize. I will behave next time. No, don't say that. You were murdering my boyfriend. You actually thought I was going to stand there and do nothing. I'm so going with that one. Someone's got a temper. I like that. Oh, okay. That will make... Wait, what? That will make your surrender all the more enjoyable. I will never surrender to you. Except I probably will. He got closer to me and took my chin between his fingers. Oh, we shall see. We shall see about that. You are obnoxious, and I love it. I just don't get him. And yet, I need to get some answers. Why did Yo go after Nevra? Why did you go after Nevra? I told him not to move, and this fool had to have it his own way. Actually, I wonder how he managed to go through the shield. How he is. Oh my god, B-move. Do better. How is he? Is he alive? I don't know. The Marids aren't as spectacular as they were before. It was really boring. I didn't feel like wasting my time. However, I do think his blood is now spreading in the LC. You are a liar. I wonder whether the Marids will become some kind of vampire hybrids. I never quite understood their blood ritual. Lance's answer is horrifying. How can he ramble like this? This man doesn't have any heart. Let's carry on with the journey. Where are we going? To Memoria, of course. It's great that your friend Inthra knows exactly where that island is. He glanced at Inthra, who was swimming next to the ship. She seems to be giving orders to some of Lance's mercenaries. She is such a traitor. That bitch. Memoria, why? Lance remained silent. I asked again, but he didn't see it fit to answer me. So fucking rude. I don't think I will get any more information about this. that's okay. Let's just go with it, go with the flow. But it is a very useful piece of information. If only I could find a way to tell this to the others. Or you could not. Let the dragon take you wherever he wants. You have no other choice. Exactly. We've been sailing for hours and Lance hasn't said a single word. He seems to have totally forgotten me. And I still haven't found a way to tell the others where we're going. Is there even a way? Come to think about it, it was impossible. I was neither a telepath nor a magician. I had no way of telling them where I was heading. And I was still tied up to the mast of the ship. I first had to find a way of freeing myself. I tried to untie the rope, but I'm definitely not an escape expert. That you most certainly are not. I'm starting to lose hope. But hey, you escaped the guard, that's one thing. Well, I think so anyway. The sun was blazing, and that wasn't helping me to think or remain hopeful. On the contrary, the sun was burning me. Suddenly, a shadow came towards me. It was Lance. Dun dun dun. I flinched and curled up against the cursed mast. Instead of resorting to violence, Lance leaned towards me and held a flask of water to my mouth. I was surprised by such kindness, and it made me a little suspicious. I don't think he's doing it out of kindness, honey. I refused to drink from it. I couldn't risk being poisoned by him. I don't think he would resort to poison either. It's only water. He took a sip and glanced at me. As you can see, I'm not dying, so drink. I really don't want to get to Memoria with a corpse on my hands. Drink. Keep refusing to drink. I feel like I just want to drink it. Okay, yeah, we're drinking. Without resisting any longer, I held my mouth to the flask, and Lance helped me drink with surprising gentleness. The water had barely touched my tongue, and already I felt refreshed. When my thirst was quenched, Lance softly dried my mouth. Okay, that's alright. Tell him to stop. Let him. Try to bite him. I'm not going to do that. Apparently, if you tell him to stop, it raises the affinity with him. So, I don't believe it. I would probably just let him, but I guess let's not. Stop. Don't touch me. Very well. He started staring at me in a strange way. You're cute when you resist. Oh my god. Turns out Nevra's taste in women is not that bad. Not really, but wait, what? Did I miss something? Okay, not really, but it did help. What do you mean? You were key to my escape. If you hadn't agreed on talking to me, I would have never been able to escape so easily. You were the only one of the group they would have never sacrificed. How can you be so sure of that? You saw Miko when I threatened you. Your connection to the crystal is so strange, so complex. You represent hope to many fairies. If you hate them so much, why not kill me now? I hate them too, don't kill me. You'll finally get what you want, the end of this world. I mean, some of them are okay, my buddy Israel, Nevra's pretty good, Still don't like Miko. Everything in its time. I need to get some answers before granting this world absolution. I should have never mentioned Memoria. And I thought I would get answers in exchange for this information. I was wrong. You were usually wrong about quite a few things. Being on this boat with Lance is making me uncomfortable. I don't know what to think of him. His attitude towards me is almost that of a bipolar person. 1 minute, he can prove kind, and the other aggressive and frightening. Is he testing my limits? Is it a way to torture me? It got dark all of a sudden, and it took me by surprise. Lance took me to one of the cabins, and I fell asleep right away. The next morning, I still felt this fear in my stomach. Okay. Oh. We can do a thing. Doesn't really help much, though. The thing from afar. Come here, you. Lance came and untied me from the mast. Wasn't I in a cabin? What the hell is going on? Does this brute look familiar to you? He took me to the railing of the bow? I think it's Belle. And why would I tell you? No, that doesn't ring any bells. Actually, it does. I know this place, or rather, this thing I can see in the distance. It's a Kraken. We must get away. A Kraken? I was thinking of greeting him, actually. The sound of his voice is frightening. I can't figure out whether he's overconfident or just totally reckless. Probably both. He seemed calm and mysterious so far. Now he seems insane. Lance pulled me to him and pressed me against the wheel of the ship. He then slid behind me and took my hands to place them on the wheel. I'm shaking. I am shooketh. I am shaking, feeling his body so tightly pressed against mine. Let's do this. It will be fun. Lance seems determined. He wants to go and meet the Kraken. But if we do, we'll die. Well, stay calm, Mary. Even if he's encircled around you, you're still the one holding the wheel. You can decide where to take this boat. Really? Oh, okay. Well, there's not really anywhere else to go. There's only one option, so I don't have a choice. I have to go towards the thing. Apprehensively, I maneuvered the boat in the direction of the Kraken. Lance then blocked the wheel so we would stay on course. I thought we were going towards it. Then he escorted me to the boat, tied me up to one of the railings. He's had enough of our shit already. That way, you will have a first row seat to the show. Okay. I fear the worst. I want to run, but I am literally paralyzed by fear. Where, pray tell, are you going to run to? Lance climbed over the railing and asked one of the sailors to hand him his weapon. I recognize this boy. I've seen him at HQ before. I can't remember his name. There were more traders at HQ than Miko and I thought. With his weapon in hand, Lance jumped overboard in the direction of the Kraken. It looks like he's walking on water. It's incredible. It seems like my ties aren't that tight. It looks like I've got some slack. But where are you going to run to? Even if there is no way to get away, I can at least try to go somewhere safer. Where? Honestly, I'm afraid of how the battle between Lance and the Kraken is going to turn out. Okay, I guess that's pretty good. Stay on the deck. Go and hide in the hold. No, I'm not going to go hide. I want to watch this. No use in trying to hide. Lance will find me no matter what. However, I can't just stay around that beast. I need to move away. Oh, okay. Deck. Alright, let's go to the deck then. I stayed on the deck, but I backed away from the railing. Okay, so this is like their way of trying to get us to waste mana, I see. Lance was now close to the creature, and while I was expecting him to end its life, he only used his sword to ward off the Kraken's attacks. What was he waiting for? Why isn't he dealing him the final blow? I held my breath when I saw him getting even closer to the creature. Part of me felt a bit of sadness at the thought of the Kraken being torn apart. But instead of that, an incredible show took place before my eyes. Lance's body radiated a blue-hued light that highlighted cyan wings on his back. Interesting. I immediately knew he was using his dragon powers and couldn't help but admire the beauty of this. I was fascinated, and without even realizing it, I was furtively getting closer to the bow that I had... I'm terrible with words. Terrible. That I had left a few minutes before. Carried by his azure wings, Lance approached the creature, and started talking to it using the original language. I couldn't understand what he was saying, but the Kraken didn't seem interested and resumed his attacks even more violently. After a few minutes, the squid stopped moving and so did Lance. They studied each other for a long time. I was observing the whole scene with a lot of attention. Lance seemed to bow before the creature, and the squid softly laid a tentacle on the dragon's shoulder. I was totally confused. Why had they stopped fighting? Lance approached the giant squid and pointed a finger in my direction. That's not good. The Kraken made a sound that resembled the trumpeting of elephant. Then one of its tentacles moved in my direction, that's really not good, and wrapped itself around my waist before lifting me. I screamed with surprise because this is really not good. Hey, let go of me. Sorry. I am suspended several feet above the deck, and with my head upside down. Lovely. Lance climbed back on the deck of the boat and started laughing, seeing me like this. Let me introduce you to my new friend, this adorable yet terrifying and destructive Kraken. I think she already loves you. Uh-huh. Lance's smile is terrifying me. The situation is not even remotely funny. Creature let go of me a few seconds later. Are you out of your mind? Excuse me? The Krakens are dangerous and horrible. I can still feel its slimy tentacle on my skin. Yuck. It depends who they pledge allegiance to. We have nothing to fear from this one. We? There's a we. One of them killed Eldary's entire family. Minor details. Sorry. Oh, how sad. I am totally devastated. He pretended to look sorry. I decided to ignore this upteenth provocation. Meanwhile, Lance tied me back to the mast. Again. On we go, noble Kraken. Lead us to the lands of my fellow men. Lance walked to the boat of the ship and it started moving faster. Now I understand why he wanted to make an ally of this creature. Okay. This way? This way. I'm still tied up to the mast. The heat is, however, less unbearable than this morning. I'm still thinking of a way to inform the guard of my destination. I'm afraid that, when I will, it might be too late. We've been at sea for a while already. Night fell, and the sea breeze is so chilly that I'm freezing. Lance came and untied me. Then he took me to a cabin where I immediately fell asleep. That night, I dreamt of HQ. It feels good to be here. Too bad this is just a dream. But I might as well take advantage of it to see Nevra. Who? I mean, what? I wanted to knock on the door of his room, but my hand went right through the wood. What is? I can't grab the objects around me. It's like I'm a ghost. Maybe I'm not in a dream. I never had such a weird dream. Maybe I'm not in a dream. Maybe I am a ghost. Or maybe I'm dead, because Lance have murdered me in my sleep. He wouldn't do that, I think. That said, it doesn't feel at all like when I was in purgatory. And there I could touch things. It was like an alternative universe. Here, it's like I'm detached from reality. There's no other explanation. I'm in a dream. A strange dream, but a dream nevertheless. Okay. Where could he be? Normally in dreams, we get what we want, right? This dream is really uninteresting. Oh, what a surprise. It's Fang Hua. This dream is finally taking... This dream is finally takes. It's finally taking a pleasant turn. Like we say, patience is the mother of all virtues. It's a good thing I didn't try to wake up. Huang Hua, how nice to see you. Huang Hua walked towards me, looking very determined. Knowing her, she probably wants to hug me. Everyone wants to hug me. I hate it. I joyously opened my arms wide. I have missed her so much. How are... Huang Hua's body literally walked through mine. You? The sensation was breathtaking. It was as if someone had gone through my soul. This can't be a dream, otherwise I wouldn't be feeling things like this. That can't be possible. I'm nauseous and my heart is racing. Huh? I turned to Huang Hua. She is looking straight ahead in my direction. No, in fact, she's looking at me. What was that? Huang Hua, it's me, Eri. I must have dreamt. Come on, Huang Hua, enjoy this lovely day and go for a walk in order to clear your head. Huang Hua is thinking out loud. She can't hear me. I need to find a way to inform her of my presence. Throw a rock at her. I mean, what? What can I do to show her that I'm here? I already told you, a rock. I went closer to Huang Hua. I always struggle with this name. And put a hand on her arm. She shivered and took a step back. Did that do something? I can't just follow her forever. I need to do something. Huang Hua needs to understand that I'm here, right next to her. Or she could just nod. You could just stay with Lance, you know? I knew my body would go through hers, but I understood she could feel me, even if only slightly. Even if that wasn't a very nice sensation, I was ready to repeat this experience until she understood that I was there. After taking a deep breath, I ran towards Huang Hua. My body went through her once, then twice. Huang Hua screamed with surprise. She was disoriented by our contact. I'm sorry, how many times do I have to say her name? It's not much nicer. It's not much nicer for me, but I don't have a choice. I didn't give up and kept walking through her. Huang Hua was starting to get really annoyed. Stop. I don't know who you are or what you are, but you have no right to access my soul. She felt me. Now I need to make her understand that I'm not hostile. Try to hug her. Take her hands. Lay a hand on her cheek. Well, I guess she loves hugging me, so. Oh, but then no, I don't want this to be successful. Oh, fine. Let's just do it. I approached her slowly. Then I took her in my arms. She jumped and immediately broke away from my arms. Are you insane? Okay, yes. Okay, that might not have been the best choice. That's good. I'm happy about that. I need to tell Miko. Oh, what's Miko gonna do? Miko, open the door. What now? I was resting. There is something following me. I saw her look over Huang Hua's shoulder. When her eyes met mine, Miko turned pale. Indeed, I can feel a powerful aura around you, probably a spirit. She walked towards me and stretched out her hands in front of her. This energy, it doesn't seem hostile. I would even say it feels familiar. Yes, that's it, Miko. It's me. Can you feel it? God, I don't like Miko, to be honest. I really don't like her. It feels like... Follow me. They went in the direction of the crystal room, and I tried to follow them. Unfortunately, the seal didn't allow me to go through. It's a new seal. It probably doesn't know me, and is not letting me go through. They came back a few minutes later with a piece of crystal. I will take care of getting as many people as possible. What is going on? Okay, I will prepare the ritual. If it's the oracle, we will need the energy of all the people we can get in order to summon her. Don't worry, Miko. It will work, for sure. What ritual are they talking about? What does she mean if it's the oracle? No, Miko, it's me. Dumb. What? Sorry. Miko is fixing a ritual, but why? If you want to understand why, don't lose sight of her. Fine. After running all over the place and cleansing the hall of doors, Miko placed a piece of crystal in the middle of the room. I was looking at every single one of her moves, trying to understand what she was doing. She had talked about summoning the oracle, so this was probably what she was doing. Probably. The residents of the guard started arriving. I could hear them whispering with trepidation, but also excitement. I walked through the crowd, touching the people I knew, but none of them had the reaction Huang Hua had. They couldn't feel my presence. Why couldn't Huang Hua and Miko feel me? Why them? Oh, why could they? Why them and not the others? Another thought jumped into my mind. Where's Nevra? Oh my god! Where was Nevra? Where is he? Since I had gotten back here, I hadn't seen him, and now that I knew for sure that this wasn't a dream, I started worrying. I then remembered what I had seen on the beach the day before. Start freaking out all over again. If this wasn't a dream and he wasn't here, did that mean he was really dead? My heart skipped a beat at that thought, and I couldn't hold back the tears rising in my eyes. Chrome went to Miko. Chrome? I was relieved to see him back at HQ. I couldn't help but think about Ikar, who by now knew that her companion was dead. Oh, yeah, that was really sad. Lance. I looked around for her but couldn't see her. It must have been so tough for her. Fortunately, she has Miko and Kero to support her. Miko, why are we doing this now? Can't it wait? I'm exhausted. You little shit. Sorry, Chrome. I know you're tired from the journey, but Huang Hua and I felt a presence, and I think I recognize the energy of the Oracle. If there is only a slight chance that it could be her, we need to summon her. She might be able to tell us how to save her. I don't want to be saved. And where Eri might be. Oh, you mean the Oracle. I would like to believe that, but it's been more than a day since Lance has taken her hostage on his ship, and I have no idea where they're going. I understand. Well, I hope we will have answers. I will give all the energy I have left for that. Are you sure, you little traitor? Thanks, Chrome, you're adorable. If it concerns Eri, I'm ready to knock everything down. He's so silly, I love him. So, Chrome, you'll never change, will you? What a big mouth. Is he still a traitor? I don't know. I want to go with this one, though. No doubt, I'm not dreaming. I'm at HQ. But if they can't see me and I can't touch them, what state am I in? Let's think. Huang Hua can feel my presence, so can Miko. I'm not just a vision. It's something more spiritual in my opinion. Miko mentioned the word aura earlier, and from what I understand, the aura is the soul's reflection, the spirit's mirror. Could my spirit have been projected in HQ? Could I have done an astral projection? But how could I have done that? I don't hold any magical powers, unless... The Oracle, of course. My spirit is connected to hers. My body is endangered, so it doesn't seem ridiculous that my spirit might seek help from the only person who can help me. Please let that be right. Miko took me out of my thoughts by slamming her stick on the floor. Now, if everybody is ready, I will ask you to start chanting the text we have given you as soon as we start the incantation. Huang Hua and I will be in communion with the crystal placed in the center of the sanctified circle. The goal is to summon the spirit of our crystal, the Oracle. We are hoping we can find a solution to save her and to save Eldarya. During the ritual, you might see or feel things. Don't worry, any negative force will be contained by Huang Hua and myself. You are safe as long as you remain within the summoning circle. I can tell from Miko's worried look that this time they are going to use great magic. Is everybody ready? The crowd said yes in unison. I'm starting to have heartthrobs. What is going to happen? The girls knelt down and joined their hands. Miko took a deep breath and looked at Huang Hua with determination. Now. O divine presence, wherever you might be, we summon you here, and this, however the distance. What? That doesn't make sense. The crowd started chanting along with Miko and Huang Hua. All the combined voices of the members of HQ were giving me the chills. It was lyrical and intoxicating. I was mesmerized by the different tones that I was hearing. May with the... blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. I closed my eyes to take in the beauty and the magic of what was going on before my eyes. That is when I felt a heat wave encircle me. The Oracle, she was trying to show. I could feel it deep inside me. I opened my eyes and looked at the piece of crystal laying in the middle of the circle. It was vibrating slightly. As if summoned by it, I went closer, feverish and trembling, and as I was walking in its direction, it started levitating. That can't be good. When I got within its reach, it was floating at eye level. It had a crystal blue glow and had recovered all the spark of yesterday. As if hypnotized, I extended my hand in its direction. A soft energy wave bounced anywhere in there. A soft energy wave around the room Okay, maybe it's supposed to. As my palm brushed over the stone. Eri, Oracle, you're still here. How can I help you? She's talking in normal language now. You can't. I'm dying, Eri. I can fully understand what she's saying now, and it's breaking my heart. Don't say that. She put a finger on my mouth, and a new energy wave engulfed my entire body. Then she turned to Miko and Huang Hua, whose faces were struck with surprise. Eri, do you see her, Huang Hua? Yes, and the Oracle too. They can see me. Miko, Huang Hua, can you hear me? Eri, I don't understand what you're saying. Why are you speaking in the original language? What? The original language? What does she mean? That can't be. Now is the time to tell them where I'm going. I need to be clear and concise. How can I do this? I don't know what to do. What if I mimed? They should understand. The signs are a universal language. Just say Memoria. Memoria. I need to find a keyword that they could understand despite the language barrier. Memoria. Yes, say Memoria. The island, Miko, Lance. Memoria. Oh shit. Or maybe I shouldn't. Oh, it's too late now. Oh shit, why did I do that? I don't want them to find me. I want to stay with Lance. As soon as I pronounced the name, I felt all my energy leaving me. The Oracle turned to me, her eyes filled with tears. No, I regret that decision. Let me go back. I hope I could help you. Now the fate of Eldarya is in your hands. What? With these words, I saw the Oracle vanish slowly. What? Her body became almost imperceptible, and the soft aura that was hers turned cold. What? Is she dying? My heart, oh my god, for real? My heart sank, and I swallowed several times, trying to hold back my tears. When her silhouette completely disappeared, a huge feeling of sadness overwhelmed me. That was it. I felt the Oracle had given her final breath. I started crying, and saw shiny drops run down Huang Hua and Miko's cheeks. Just like me, they had understood what had just happened. They knew the Oracle wasn't part of this world anymore. How? The room of the doors adorned itself with a black veil, and I understood that my spirit was returning to my body. I was woken up by Lance, who was Who was dragging me, excuse you, to the deck. My mind was still clouded and weakened by what I had just gone through. My eyes were still wet, and I had a lump in my throat. Just drag us across the deck, why don't you? I had lost someone dear to me, and I could feel the mourning gripping my heart. We still have a long way to go. Don't you think that I'm going to leave you on this boat? Well, what? Where am I going to go, anyway? He untied me and threw a bucket of water as well as a mop at me. Thanks, not your slave. Clean up the deck. I don't like to live around muck. Don't try to escape by going overboard. My new friend, the Kraken, will be more than happy to go after you. Where am I going to swim to? I started moping without a word. I think that's supposed to be mopping, but moping is more appropriate. To be honest, I don't really have the energy to fight. I am so sad about the Oracle that the only thing I feel like doing is crying. And once again, I'm not your slave. But I can't let Lance know that the Oracle is gone. That's something that I actually agree with. The day went by really quickly. Lance gave me a lot to do. Thanks. And when night fell, I leaned on the rail. Lance didn't even bother to tie me up. Anyway, I have nowhere to go. Finally, he realizes. I stayed on the deck a good deal of the night. Lance, too. He's staring straight into the horizon. Go and talk to him. Don't talk to him. Yeah, let's go talk to him. Why not? Without a sound, I made my way to him. When he noticed that I was there, it startled him. What do you want? Just wanted to talk. About what? I don't know. I'm trying to understand your reasons, your personality, your way. That's not going to change anything. It's not because you're nice to me that I will let you go. He went silent. He definitely is Valkyon's brother. Oh, alright, good chat. I went back to my side of the deck and admired the canopy. I finally fell asleep. The next morning when I woke, I noticed that someone had put blankets over me in the course of the night. Oh, I bet it was him. But then again, maybe it wasn't. No, I bet it was. I don't know who did that, but that was nice of them. Of course, I'm having a hard time believing it might be. Oh, I bet it was. Achoo. Oh, great. Now we're sick. Lance. I think I may have gotten a cold. After several days at sea, we finally got to Memoria. I got into one of the small boats taking us to the beach. I'm desperate. How can I escape his influence? We don't want to escape. Well, what an exhausting journey. Let's set camp in the woods and get some rest. His soldiers immediately complied to the orders and walked in the direction of the forest to set up camp. Lance was very clear with his instructions. Stay low-key so nobody can spot us. Pretty sure there's no one else on the island, but okay. Then he turned to the Kraken and asked him to keep watch. No, how will the guard manage to fight such a monster? Maybe they should just stay away. I got to the camp in the woods, not very far from where Mary was killed. I held my breath for a second. Considering Lance's smile, I'm sure he knows exactly what happened here, and that he set camp here knowingly. You smug bastard. You're a dreadful man. Did you do this on purpose? Even if he disgusts me, I'd rather remain silent. Did you do this on purpose? On purpose? Choosing the spot to set up camp? Of course, it's out of sight and I could feel mystical forces protecting this forest. It's probably the soul of the hamadryads and dryads who used to live here. And it's just for that. Yes, why this question? A kid I knew was killed in this forest, and being here is unsettling for me. What? I'm sorry, I didn't know. Did I just hear Lance apologize? Did that really just happen? But we're not moving. Of course. Anyway, tomorrow you will take me to my peer's hiding place, but for now, I would like you to give me a tour. Excuse me? Go give your own damn tour. You know this place well, don't you? Show me around. Okay, sure. I'm a bit unsettled by this request. What is he expecting from me exactly? This place is uninteresting. Why did you bring me here? You asked me to show you around. That's what I'm doing. Well, take me somewhere interesting next time. Jeez. Memoria's ruins. I couldn't resist stopping and taking a look. This place is so filled with memories and energies. I can still feel it running through my veins. If only it could give me enough strength to fight Lance. We don't want to fight him. We're just going with the flow. Or at least escape him. This statue is intriguing. Do you know anything about it? Not much. It's a statue representing... Yep, that. She's the goddess of memory, right? Yes, that's it. I understand better why the dragons took refuge on this island. What better place than an island dedicated to the memory keeper, if you wish to be forgotten? Lance is truly disconcerting. He seems extremely intelligent. His thinking abilities are very impressive. He might not be as irresponsible as I thought. A ruined library. Brilliant. Considering his bored face, he clearly doesn't know about the secret passage. Although we will probably end up telling him about it. Just saying. I took him to the Forgotten Cliff. A temple dedicated to Zeus, the god of all the gods. How do you know? It's written on some of the pillars lying on the ground. You can read Greek then. Yes, why? Valkion can't, so I'm a bit surprised. There are a lot of things that my brother doesn't know. He has always restrained himself for fear of not being good enough for me. So Lance knows how much Valkion admires him. and his face went sad. Interesting. He went to the edge of the cliff. Push him off. This would be the perfect opportunity to get rid of him. Yes. No, we're not going to do that. I have to take the chance. No, I could never kill anyone, not him. Nah, let's not. I kind of like having him around. Could it be here that they lived? Who? Nothing. It's none of your business. Fine. Okay, let's go back to camp. I've seen everything there was to see. The sun will set soon. Let's go and get some rest. Tomorrow is a big day. I won't take you to the dragons. I won't betray them. It's out of the question. As if you had a choice. He gave me a cruel smile. He's not taking me seriously. Since talking to him was useless, I just retreated to silence. I looked at Lance's companions, their faces. I was trying to understand why they had gone with him. They all looked marked by life, by the years gone by. One of them already had deep scars on his face. His sharp dark eyes went through me. I asked him what his name was. Orion. Instinctively, I raised my eyes to the sky, thinking about the constellation bearing the same name. Bearing the name of a constellation, that's quite uncommon. It's not really. Orion was always my favourite constellation. I don't know why. Let's just go with this one. Orion turned out to be way more talkative than his partners, so I ventured into questioning him about why he had joined Lance. The dragon listened carefully to our conversation. I didn't know how to behave. Should I look interested, casual, or stop the conversation? Please, do whatever you want. He's not going to do anything. I decided to continue my conversation with Orion and not show any emotion. I didn't want Lance to figure me out more than he already had. I learned that Orion had gotten fired from the L Guard 20 years ago. At that time, the Guard was shameless, no morals. They're still like that. Just saying. He didn't want to say anything about the order he had received that day, and that he had decided not to follow, but it probably wasn't glorious. Then, a year or two ago, he had met Lance, who had told him about his plans for Eldarya. And even if that meant destroying the world, he had agreed to it. I was surprised by the candidness of the dragon, but even more dumbstruck by the fact that it hadn't bothered Orion. I asked him why he had said yes, and his reason was simple but frightening. According to him, the people from this world were not worth saving. Harsh. That is so dark. This confession scared me. How could he say that? And worse, he wasn't the only one to think that. Shocked, I asked if I could go to bed. I need permission to go to bed. Lance escorted me to my bed and tied me up to it. Where am I going to go? I tried to stay positive. At least I could sleep in a bed. The next morning, when I woke up, my entire body was aching. Sleeping while being tied up to the bed wasn't the best. I got up with my body aching. You already said that. Come here, we have a long way to go. Yes, sir. My hands are still tied. I don't have the choice. I must follow him no matter what. This is where you had set camp, I nodded. Although there was nothing left of our presence here, not even remains of a fire, the place is still filled with our energy. I can still picture all the tents and all of us sitting around the fire. Evelyn, Kero, Alahir, Kalaya, Ezreal, Nevra, Valkion, Leaftan, and these people, whoever they are, we were all here not even 2 weeks ago. If only we had known what was going to happen. Lance took me out of my thoughts. So, where should we go? I'm not telling you where the dragons are. Except I totally will. Of course you are. Once again, he grabbed my neck. I tried to contain my emotions. I don't want to show him that I'm scared. Where are they? His grip tightened. I'm shaking with fear, feeling the pressure on my throat. We remained like that for what seemed a long while. Then Lance stopped strangling me. Thanks. I will ask you one last time, where are the dragons? I can't betray the dragons. I know Lance said he only wanted to talk to them, but I'm afraid of what he might do to them. He probably can't do anything to them, to be honest. Fafnir relies on me to save Eldarya. I can't turn them into this dreadful person. However, I know I will die if I don't give Lance what he wants. What should I do? Put him on the wrong track. Take him to the dragons. No, refuse to take him to the dragons. I'm gonna go with this one. Why not? I could mislead him and take him somewhere else. In Marianne's den, for example. But before I will drive him up the wall. Yes. Okay, I'll take you there. Sure, follow me. Lead Lance up the garden path and make him waste time. I took him around Memoria, pretending not to remember exactly where it was. It looks like you're wasting my time. Sorry, but I don't remember how to get in there. I think it was somewhere around here. Let's try something else. Not sure we can open the door, though. Don't worry, I bought a few toys for that. What? What is he talking about? He's starting to lose patience. I shouldn't go too far with this. I will take him to Marianne's den now. Yes. We got to Marianne's den, and of course, Lance immediately understood I was sending him on a wild goose chase. You idiot! Excuse me. He grabbed me by the collar and shook me violently. How dare you? Stop playing me. Where are the dragons? I will never tell you. Are you sure? Provoke him. Remain silent. Tell him where the dragons are. I'm totally going to provoke him. I took a deep breath to give myself courage and finally spit in his face. Yes! Oh, this is amazing. I don't usually do things as gross as this, but he really deserves it. Lance wiped his face disdainfully and looked at me furiously. I really thought he was going to hit me, but he didn't. Instead, he decided to ignore what I had just done. Fine, follow me. Oh no. Oh no, I'm in trouble. Oh shit, he's gonna push me off the cliff. We arrived at the cliff. What does Lance intend to do? I understood quickly. With one gesture, I knew it. He pushed me forward until my feet stopped being on solid ground. I was hanging from the cliff, held up only by Lance's hand. My heart was racing. I could feel the emptiness beneath my feet and my body swinging with the wind. If he let go of me, I would fall and would smash against the rocks at the bottom. He's not going to. Or worse, I would drown. Again. The memory of me almost drowning came back to me and terrorized me. I remembered the salty taste of the water, filling my throat inexorably. The coldness of the sea that was freezing my body, and made my heartbeat slow down, despite the panic within me. But nevertheless, was I supposed to give in to Lance's wishes and take him to Fafnir? Seeing that I wasn't providing him with any information, Lance pulled me back up. I was flabbergasted. I thought he was just going to let me freefall down the cliff, but no. Fine, since you don't really value your own life, we will go after that of your loved ones. I don't have any loved ones. I already took care of your boyfriend. Who could I play with now? Don't touch my friends. So, this is a weakness. Let's see. And what if I went for the nurse, Evelyn? I think her name is right. Okay, whatever. But don't touch her, okay? She's one of the ones that I actually do like. Don't you dare lay a finger on her. So be a little more obedient and show me the way. Otherwise, I will just get them killed. The same way I killed your friend, the bugbear. Don't forget, I still have some loyal men at your cheap HQ. Krillis is dead? No, he's not. If he's not, he must be in really bad shape. You are such a liar. How could you go after him? Because life is tough and sad, and he burst out laughing like a madman. What a horrible man. I'll never stop thinking that. Except I still love him. So what is your choice? Your friends or the dragons? I can't risk the life of those I love. I'm sorry, Fafnir. Agreed. I will take you to the dragons. But I won't be happy about it. It's this way. Are you kidding me? No, there's another secret passage. I pressed on the paving stone and the door leading to the dragons opened. Is it far from here? A few hours, I would say. Perfect, we have time. We have all the time in the world, apparently. After a few hours of walking, we finally got to the door of the temple. It's like I remember, great and stately. The mystical energy coming from it is still very powerful. I wonder whether Lance can feel it too. I observed him, having nothing else to do. He walked to the door. His hand is trembling with excitement and emotion, I suppose. What's the password? I concentrated and rummaged through my memory to remember the phrase enabling the door to the temple to open. Blah, 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 yep, all of that is the password. Good luck with that. The original language. I should have guessed as much. Anything else to do or say? Yes, for it to work, you have to put your hands on these two symbols. I pointed at them with my fingers. Lance complied and pronounced the sentence with a perfect accent. But surprisingly, nothing happened. Lance tried again, several times, and then asked me to do it, but the doors remained closed. I was surprised because Fafnir had been crystal clear. All the children of the Oracle and the chosen ones were welcome to their realm. So why were the doors not opening? Maybe the dragons had felt Lance's slyness and had set up a protection against him. Take that. It was. Anyway, my only explanation. Lance got mad at me. What? It's not my fault. Stop messing with me. It's not me. But I'm not. That's how I opened the doors last time. If you're telling the truth, why aren't they opening? I don't know. I suddenly had a flash. Last time I was pressed by time, or more specifically by the moon cycle. That was maybe the key to opening the doors. Last time, the dragons required me to open the doors before the moon started waning. Maybe this has something to do with the moon cycle. Well, we don't have time to wait for the next moon cycle to open these damn doors. I'm sorry, there's not much more I can do. Oof, let's go. I will find another way since you have proven totally useless. Excuse me. Whatever. Airy, Lance grabbed my arm. If I learn that you're just trying to buy time, I will make you suffer in ways that you can't even imagine. Please. I shivered with fear, but I didn't flinch. I'm not scared of you. Especially since this time I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying to you. The password and the hand positioning were the same as when we managed to open the doors last time. The only difference I can see is the moon cycle. I don't have anything more to say about this. So there. When we got back to the forest, Lance looked at me and then decided to cut off my ties. Orion, walk her around the island. What? I have something I have to deal with. I don't want her around. What is he up to now? Wouldn't it be safer to just tie her to a tree? Excuse you. Not really. She knows what to expect from me. You're not going to try to escape, are you? No. Where am I going to go? Promise. Promise. I feel humiliated by Lance, but at least it leaves me the opportunity to explore and maybe find a way to escape or to hide until the Elgard gets here. The Kraken is still here. He doesn't seem to want to move. I will never be able to escape this way. I headed to the ruins of Memoria. Orion is on my heels, but he's not preventing me from going anywhere. I am free, of my own movements. I can't see why Lance would let me walk free. It's suspicious. The rocks are way too steep. I can't leave this way. Memoria's breeze is as soft as usual and filled with its characteristic nostalgia. Is it because this island is dedicated to the goddess of memory and hence of the past? Or because it protects the wandering souls of the dragons? Either way, I feel a strong connection to this island despite all the ordeal it has made me go through. So, Orion, do you have family? I'd rather not talk about me. Okay. That's a shame. I would have tried to coax him. This freedom, although under watch, is quite enjoyable in the end. Orion is very discreet. I can barely hear his footsteps. Even if I'm still Lance's prisoner, I feel a bit more relaxed for the first time in the past 3 days. Boom. We heard a huge noise coming from the plains of Memoria, like an explosion. It sounded like it was coming from the Forgotten Cliff. I must go there. That is not normal. There's smoke coming from the crack below. It looks like it's coming from the door of the temple. He's trying to blow it up. Oh my god. Oh, that is so Lance. What could Lance possibly have done there? Now I understand why he didn't want me around. I need to go and see what he's done. I hope he hasn't ruined this sacred monument. No, what are you doing? I need to go and check out what's going on at the dragon's door. You're not going to stop me. Lance doesn't want anyone around here. I don't care. I forced my way through thanks to my small size and natural agility. I ran through the hallways as fast as I could. I could hear Orion and the other guy just behind me. My heart was racing. Adrenaline was fueling me. I have numerous questions going through my mind. What had Lance done? Had he managed to open the door to the dragon's realm? Was I too late? When I got there, I saw with relief that the door was still closed. What are you doing here? I came to see what you had done. What happened here? Around me there was this brown smoke that smelled like sulfur. It seems he has used explosives. However, the air seems to be filled with magical energy, something dark and ancient. As you can see, I tried to open the doors. It didn't work the way I wished it had. Ah, black magic. It's not what it used to be. He sighed, looking desperate, and then snapped his fingers. Orion grabbed me by the arm and took me back to camp. Lance followed us closely. Platina. Lance spoke to one of his mercenaries. Yes, Lance. Yes, Lance. Shut up. Is the battering ram ready? No, not yet. It should be tomorrow at the earliest. That's a shame. I can't wait to open these damn doors. A battering ram. Is that how you intend to get in the temple, using a battering ram? Why not? The spell didn't work, but maybe we can try another method. If you didn't manage to open these doors with explosives, I don't see how a battering ram will. You truly have no respect for your peers. Are you stupid or reckless? Oh, there's some good ones there. I don't know what I'm going to choose. Alright, I'm just gonna try the first one and we'll see how that goes. He might be right, but no pain, no gain. Total madness. We ate a quick dinner and I went to bed. Lance did not tie me up, but I do know I'm being closely watched. We heard some noise in the middle of the night. Lance woke everybody up and asked us to head to the ruins. What is... Dozens of are flying around us. Lance took out his weapon. He seems ready to kill them all. Of course he does. No, don't do this. Convince him not to harm these creatures. Intervene. Make the creatures go away. I'm gonna go intervene. Out of my way. No, last time it was the same. They came to me. Thanks to them and to the oracle, we found the way to the dragons. What? We must follow them. They most certainly carry a message from Fafnir, you idiot! I feel like all the options I'm choosing so far are neutral, and I hate it. I just want to raise my LOM with him. I heard him mumble something before agreeing to what I was saying. There are a few Dreflails sleeping here, but less than outside. Oh, was that it? Okay. There's a considerable amount of them here. I think something awaits us near here. But where? It's for us to find where, and there's really only one option where we can go. He glared at me. I don't think he likes my answer. Too bad. I could feel a strong energy, and there are more Dreflails than ever. I could see Lance is really angry, judging by his clenched fist and the dagger he's holding firmly. Is this the dagger Valkion gave him? I walked towards the things flying all around me. Soon enough, they invited me to dance with them, without knowing why or how. I could understand what they were saying. It was disconcerting and yet so natural. I felt in communion with these creatures, and hence I started dancing with them, driven by their exhilarating melody, their warm energy. Now who's the mad one? When our dance seemed to have reached its peak, a soft light came down on the cliff like a silk veil. The things flew away immediately, and I stepped back without watching my steps. I bumped into Lance, whose presence startled me. It's only me. Only you, huh? The softness of his voice troubled me. I started blushing without being able to control it. I looked away from his icy, sharp eyes. Something strange was happening between us. My heart was racing like crazy without me knowing why. Oh, I know why. I can't help but be hypnotized by his eyes. Could Lance be a good person deep inside? I can't allow myself to think like this. I so want to go with the first one. Oh, I so want to. Okay, I'm going to do it. I can't think about this kind of thing now. Yes, you can. I moved away from him. What was wrong with me? Get a hold of yourself, Aerie. Do you need to be reminded that he probably killed Nevra, your boyfriend? No, he didn't. But fortunately, a bright light flashed around us, and a familiar silhouette suddenly appeared before us. Child of the Dragons, Oracle's chosen one. Why so much commotion on our island? I glanced at Lance, hoping to detect some kind of reaction, any kind of emotion, but his face remained expressionless, indecipherable. I wanted to see you. The doors to our realm will open at the next moon. Now. Ooh. Why are you in such a hurry, my child? Your behaviour is not very pleasant. I knew Fafnir would not let himself be pushed around. I need answers about them, about me. Lance went closer to Fafnir, and they talked for a few minutes. I can't understand what they're saying. Fine, I shall see you tomorrow in our realm. The doors will be open for you. Really? Wait, Fafnir, this man is dangerous. He broke the cry. Don't say anything. Orion slapped a hand over my mouth. I can no longer talk. Let go of her. Ha ha ha. I felt Orion's grip loosen immediately. I know everything that happened, my child. I know he broke the crystal twice, but rest reassured. He won't hurt us. No, Fafnir. Fafnir's silhouette vanished in the air, brushed away by the icy wind of the night. How can he trust Lance to that extent? Is Fafnir hiding something from me? Lance walked towards me angrily. You really are going to have to learn to shut your cute little mouth, understood? Yes, understood. Could you repeat? I'm a bit stupid. No, and I never will. Oh, I really want to go with the second one. Yeah, let's just do it. You annoy me. He brought his hand to his forehead as if pretending to have a headache. Anyway, we'd better go. I can't bear these anomalies of nature. He's talking about the things. Considering he killed Mole, yep, he must really hate the companions. Go back to camp before Lance destroys everything. Okay. We went directly to bed, and at dawn Lance came and woke me up. My stomach started growling. Since we've arrived here, we haven't eaten that much. And unlike Lance, I'm not a big fan of fasting. We will eat when we get there. Fine. I was surprised to see Lance take a deep breath before venturing into the secret passage. Is he stressed at the thought of meeting with Fafnir in his own realm? Lance asked me to go to the doors and open them, as if he didn't want to do that on his own. It was troubling. Obediently, I approached the doors. I put my hands on the appropriate symbols and chanted so as to open them. This time it worked. The doors opened, and Lance sighed with relief. However, he stood in front of the open doors for a few seconds without saying anything. Even if he is dreadful, I can't help but feel emphatic and share his stress. He seems to expect a lot of this place. Deep inside me, I hope that he will find what he's looking for. Maybe it would enable him to understand his mistakes and put him back on the right track. My child, young Oracle's chosen one, welcome to the humble house of the dragons. Plenty of other dragon spirits came to our side. Their greeting is way too welcoming to my taste. It's a trap. Why aren't they afraid of Lance? Why aren't they doing something to control him? Can't they see that he's holding me hostage? I went to Fafnir and asked if I could talk to him privately. Lance gave me a meaningful look. Fafnir, why do you trust him? Wouldn't you trust members of your family? Of course I would, but Lance destroyed the crystal, and if I'm here with him, it's not because I want to be. I'm aware of all this, young lady. I'm not blind regarding Lance. I can feel his sins and his wandering. But a family must remain united and support each other no matter what. You're right. I must admit I've never faced such a situation before. I don't agree. Sure. But how can you support someone who's shed blood for fun? Lance is a complex and tortured person. He entertains faint hopes. It's my duty to guide him back into the right track. And also, I promised her I would take care of her sons. Fafnir gazed into space. Promised? To whom? Fafnir didn't have time to answer. Another dragon came to us and talked to him for a long while. I am troubled. Who was he talking about earlier? Lance, if you will allow me, I will show you around our house. I didn't have time to do this with your brother. That was really hard to read. The scale room. The scale is still there, but this time there's no one on the weighing scales. I sighed with relief. I wonder whose souls he would have seen. Would he have had to take the same test as me? And as a matter of fact, why isn't he? The tests were only meant for you. We needed to know whether you could save Eldarya. Save Eldarya. Complete nonsense. You will have to explain to me why you so badly want to save the world which has caused our genocide. You will understand soon, my child. I doubt it. We carried on following him. When we entered the next room, I felt a strong energy flow through my body. The huge dragon statues above us don't seem as motionless as last time. They actually look alive. This was our council room. Of course, we don't really use it anymore, but your mother used to sit here before Lance. Used to sit here before Lance. Was I supposed to have a comment? My mother, you knew her? Yes, she was a woman of amazing courage and altruism. You have her eyes. Lance looks troubled. He doesn't know what to say. Come in this way. With his stately paw, Fafnir pointed to the entrance of a room which is beneath the statue of the dragon with the golden eyes. I wonder what we will find there. We walked through endless hallways which were in total darkness. Only the dim lights of the Draconic's writings shed a little bit of light over the walls. After a little while, I finally saw some daylight, and I ran outside so happy that I was to have the sunlight back. What is this? At first, I was surprised to notice that we were still in the temple. I could see the stone pillars holding the ceiling. But quickly, I realized that there was in fact no ceiling, only the beautiful blue sky. I was dumbstruck and in awe before such a phenomenon. I looked at the few things flying here and there among the light clouds of this beautiful iridescent sky. It was truly magnificent. Before me, I could see immense green plains and creatures I had never seen before, frolicking happily. Oh God, Lance isn't going to like that. And that wasn't all. There was also a varied and abundant plant life, rivers with incredible shades of blue, familiar shaped clouds that sometimes touched some little natural mountains. There was an entire amazing and chimeric ecosystem. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, and I even wondered if it weren't some kind of hallucination. One of the things I really need to learn how to say this. Dreflayels. Yeah, okay. Came close to us and landed delicately on my shoulder. That made me realize that this was all very real. I raised my hand to his beak and stroked it. Just like a cat, he rubbed his face against my fingers, and a slight growl came out of his throat. I couldn't help but giggle hearing such a cute little sound. That didn't seem to please Lance, who clenched his fist as a way to show his disapproval. This must annoy him. After all, he dislikes companions and tried to kill Dreflayels yesterday. Dreflayels. I mustn't forget what he did to Maul. Thinking about Ikar's poor companion, I got scared. What if he decided to take his anger out on the Dreflayels? So with my hand, I asked the companion to move away from us. The Dreflayel growled with discontent and flew away. It's safer for you, little buddy. I think I just broke a friendship, but at least he won't lose his life. This place is beautiful, Fafnir. How is such a miracle possible? We are simply way beneath the surface of Eldarya. I can imagine, but I'm having a hard time believing that such a rich ecosystem can sustain itself so deep beneath the Eldaryan crust. Well, now at least I understand why the surface seems so lifeless. Life is all here. This must have required a lot of magical resource to achieve this, right? Indeed. I see. It would be a beautiful place, if only... God, here we go. If only what? Go on, spit it out. Nothing, forget about it. Alright. Let's retrace our steps. What a shame. I would have been happy to stay here a little bit more. I can't get my eyes off the beauty of this place. Back in the council room, Fafnir asked us to follow the hallway that is beneath the dragon with the ruby-coloured eyes. After only a few steps, we are struck head-on by a stifling heatwave. Within a second, I was sweating like crazy. It was so hot I could hardly breathe. The air was burning my lungs, and I fell to the ground, struck down by the inferno around me. Frightened, I glanced at Lance, who didn't in the least look affected. Seeing me in that state, he gestured, pointing at me. I raised my arms to protect myself from him, but to my surprise, I noticed that he wasn't trying to attack me. Quite the opposite, in fact. That's a first. A bubble of fresh air formed around me, and then stuck to my skin like a fine silk veil. Aww. Slowly, the temperature finally became bearable, and what is more, I could breathe again. After a little while, I managed to stand up and admire the beauty of this place. Around us lay a huge land of fire and lava. I would have never thought that the Temple of Dragons could hide such a variety of beautiful landscapes. I felt like I was in one of these heroic fantasy movies with grand, lavish and beautiful decors. There were numerous statues of dragons that seemed to be moving through the stream, and the magma. It was hypnotizing. I got closer to one of the lava rivers running through this hidden realm. I could see firefish jumping out of the volcanic water. There was also flowers and trees made of stone and fire. I was in hell, but it was a sublime and harmonious hell. What is this room, Fafnir? This is where the dragons used to pray before... Yep, someone's blessing. Hephaestus's blessing, sure. It's when a dragon is born under the sign of fire. All dragons are born in fire. True, but while some of them will carry on through the path of fire, like your brother, others will go another way. Did you not receive Shion's grace? I did. I saw Lance clench his fist. So there are different types of dragons. Of course, each dragon is born with his own specific powers and will grow with the blessing of the specific element, but it doesn't prevent them from controlling the other elements. They will just be less comfortable. So they all have different powers. Yes, I see. And what was your element? With a light breeze, Fafnir created a mini tornado around me. It made me levitate a few feet above the ground. Then, very gently, he put me back on the ground. An air dragon, then. An airbender, huh? That's it. What about my mother, my father? What were their blessings? Your father was a dragon of fire, strong and powerful. As for your mother, the beautiful and sweet Tia. Fafnir went silent and didn't answer all of Lance's questions. A heavy silence settled in the room. I feel that Tia's loss was very tough on him. Answer. Lance's voice exploded through this fire palace. I didn't know what to say or do. What was my mother's blessing? Ice, just like you. And just like you, she had a great heart and was lost between her duties and her passion. I saw Lance freeze. It's not the first time Fafnir hinted at how much Lance looks like his mother. It seems Fafnir is trying to strike a chord with Lance, and mentioning his mother seems to work. As for me, I don't dare intervene. Why did they sacrifice themselves? To give you a chance to live in a better world. When I see what has become of Eldarya, and what the Eldarians do with their world, that was a success. Okay, our visit is over. I didn't want to make you go through this, but I see I don't have a choice. Suddenly a flash of light brushed the room. I automatically closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, we were in the memory room. What have you done? I would like you to see why your parents have sacrificed themselves, but before we start, I have a question for you, my child. Lance rolled his eyes. I'm so disrespectful. Why did you partner with the demon? You're not going to ask me who the demon is. Oh no, I know you can't reveal anything about him. What? The mark of your oath is engraved within your soul. A mark? What are you talking about? Lance can't disclose the name of his partner, otherwise he will die. That is why he wouldn't answer any of our questions. So Lance, why did you partner with the demon? For a split second, Lance lowered his head like a child who knows that he did something stupid. Then he got a hold of himself and raised his chin with pride and anger. I wanted to take revenge over this world, the humans, the fairies. This demon also wanted to take revenge over these two worlds. Take revenge? I don't understand. The humans forced you to sacrifice yourself to create this world, and not one of the fairies objected to this madness. You saved them all, and what did the fairies do in exchange for that? They killed each other and tried to take power over each other. You should have just done like the angels and run away. Humans forced us to sacrifice ourselves, and the Fae. You should have fought the humans then, and show them our greatness and our power. Why were we so afraid of these woodlouse? Against the dragons, they were nothing. I suddenly felt ashamed and weak at once. Because of the humans, two races were almost extinct. The dragons with their sacrifice, and the angels from fear and genocide. Yes, we were stronger, but also wiser. It was our duty to protect the weak, however badly they had treated us. And we had to find a place of peace for all the fairies. It's masochism. Lance has a point. I don't understand that the dragons chose to sacrifice themselves rather than kill us. That solution would have probably been more viable for all the fairies. And besides, if they had wanted to, the fairies could have fought the humans and won. I feel responsible for the choices of humanity. Why are we endlessly scared of those who are different from us? Why must we always crush those who are more powerful than us? If we could put aside our fears and our pride, I'm sure the world would be a much better place. I'm dreaming of a world that would accept the differences, the strengths and the weaknesses of others. Anyway, what did you want me to understand? Lance's question took me out of my thoughts. He's impatient. He wants answers, but I'm not sure he's ready to hear them. Why we had sacrificed ourselves. There's nothing to understand. It was a dumb decision. What was I saying again? Lance, enough. Fafnir's voice echoed through the air, and this time Lance shut his mouth, but his silence meant a lot. Then the dragon looked in the direction of the sphere, and a cloud of mist came out of his mouth. The sphere started radiating. Its light is bright and seems to point out that something is moving here. Move forward and you will understand this choice. Fafnir merged with the sphere, and it shone even stronger. The image of a woman looking like Lance appeared. I think these are images from the past. There is only one way to know. I instinctively turn to Lance. He's hesitating. Convince him to step into the sphere. Step into the sphere without him. Force him to step into the sphere. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go convince. You should step into the sphere, Lance. You will most certainly discover more about your parents. If I were you, I wouldn't hesitate for a second. And how is it your concern? It's not, you're right, but think about it. Maybe I should have just forced him. This will probably be the only chance you will get to know more about your parents and your race. Didn't you come here for exactly this? Fine, as you like, but I will go. I can't let this opportunity of knowing more about the dragons and Valkyon's parents slip away. I went through the sphere, and I was surprised to see that Lance was following me. In a way, I'm relieved. Maybe that will make him go back on the right track. This is weird. We are on the island of Memoria, and it doesn't seem to have changed one bit. Is Fafnir making fun of us? What are we doing here? Well. Be quiet and watch. A woman walked past us without seeing us. She's the one I saw earlier in the sphere. I think it's Valkion's and Lance's mother. But it seems Lance isn't making the connection. You idiot, Lance. The young woman stopped to talk to a tall Viking-like man. His skin is white as ice, hers is brown, almost black compared to him. She called him my love. I'm guessing he's her companion, and hence the boy's father. Father. Finally, Lance is understanding what we're seeing. Mother, father, what are you doing here? I can't hear you, you idiot. That's so mean. They can't hear you. The memory you're witnessing is not interactive. You're only a viewer. So it's different from the visions Fafnir had showed me. Look at this beautiful lady. I'm having a hard time believing what happened. But if the Phoenix is right, then a dark era awaits all of the fairies. We must inform Fafnir as soon as possible. She is so pretty. Oh my god. The two beings transformed into beautiful dragons and flew in the direction of the temple. I'm dazzled by the sight of these two creatures flying in the sky. It's truly magical. We must follow them. Lance went after them. They probably went to the temple of the dragons. Pause. Tia's here, and she seems to be talking to herself. I can't believe this. Rah! Quickly she flew away and started spewing blue flames in the sky. She really is explosive. Haha, I had almost forgotten how hot-tempered your mother was, and seeing your thundering face, I think you've inherited that from her. Don't speak of my mother as if you knew her. Jesus. And yet I do, Lance. So what happened to her? Why isn't she here anymore? Did she sacrifice herself like the others? I'm not going to lie to you. She went along with her people's choice, but just like you, she didn't agree to our decision. So why did you make her do it? We didn't force any dragon into doing the sacrifice. You're lying. Lance left raging, just like his mother. I'm afraid exploring the past of the woman who gave birth to him might be too difficult for him. Fafnir went to him, and after a heated conversation, they finally came back. We must keep exploring Tia's past. We followed Lance's parents to the dragon's realm. They are already there talking to Fafnir, the Fafnir of their time. I know, Tia, we already received their message, so it is indeed the name of the guy's mother that Fafnir mentioned earlier. I know the humans have many flaws, but I'm having a hard time believing they would attack us. Do you think the Phoenix Apprentice would have lied? No, by all the gods, but I also think we shouldn't tar all the humans with the same brush. Some of them are good. Tia, I know you have faith in people, whether they're human or fairy, but evil is within every living being. It can then grow or not. You're so pessimistic. And you are too optimistic. It's because of our fear and our mistrust that men are so scared of us. She left, raging. I could see where Lance's hot-headed personality comes from. Fafnir's image vanished as well. My mother was a humanist. So what? What's your point? It's not finished. Be patient, my child. Lance sighed heavily. I glanced at Fafnir and I noticed sadness on his misty face. I do regret having said those things. You couldn't have foreseen what was going to happen. I now realize that the old Fafnir is exactly the same as the current Fafnir, who's a spirit. That is strange. How is that possible? I better ask him directly. Tell me, Fafnir, if we are now witnessing what happened before the blue sacrifice, why are you the same as now? I died years before all of this happened, and you've never found peace. No, because my mission was always to look after my peers, to guide them through life as well as death. When did you die? A long time ago. It was such a long time ago that I don't even remember exactly when. To that extent. I'm several thousands of years old, dear. Alright. Lance cleared his throat several times. Clearly patience is not his strong point. Anyway, let's carry on. There are still a lot of things I need to show you. We entered the council room, and we were able to witness the scene. A number of people were standing in a circle, displaying preoccupied faces. It seemed something serious was being discussed. I looked in the direction of the real Fafnir. This is the day we actually took the decision to do it. To do what? The blue sacrifice. My heart skipped a beat. I'm witnessing a historic moment of Eldarya. I'm suddenly very stressed. It's unbearable. Combine our energies in order to create a whole new world. What do you mean? It would simply mean, how can I put this? A sacrifice. Just say it. You were suggesting that we sacrifice both our people in order to create a parallel world to the Earth. A deadly silence fell upon the room. Lance and I were holding our breath. Yes, that's it, Dagon. Why only the dragons and the angels? Blah, blah, blah. Why not an emissary from each race? The Fen Huang looked in the direction of Fafnir. The sacrifice requires a huge amount of energy, one only dragons and angels have. Our people also offered to sacrifice itself as well, but our power is nothing compared to that of an angel. Why can't we counter the attacks of the humans? Let's just show them what we're made of. They will soon understand they can't measure up to us. We have sworn to never fight the humans and never submit them. We must respect our oath. For God's sake, stop being so devoted. What have they brought to this planet? Sickness, war, torture. Do you think we are better than them? Not less than 100 years ago, one of ours crusading Iberians to size. What? To eat young virgins? What? That makes no sense. And must I also mention all the hostile fairies who scare and kill defenseless humans? They should have been stronger. I can hear Lance. Our duty is to protect the humans. They are our past, our present, our future. They are cannon fodder and labor. Dagon, that's enough. I can't support what my brother is saying. I apologize for these words and add that they do not represent in any way the perception the angels have of the humans. Lilith. Tia looked relieved. I am surprised to see so many disagreements among the angels, but I also understand better why they refuse to sacrifice themselves. The discussion is becoming more and more heated. The dragons seem to share one point of view, that of protecting the humans and the fairies from themselves, when the angels are more divided. The Feng Huangs are standing back. They know they mustn't influence this decision. After all, they are not the ones being offered for sacrifice. Anyway, the humans do not seem ready to understand us or to welcome us as their equals. We have to make a decision. Let them kill us, kill them, or sacrifice some of our people to let those who remain lead a peaceful life. Like I said, Fafnir, we Fen Huangs are not able to help you with this decision, but whichever one you make, we will support you in the eyes of the fairies. Thank you, so-and-so. Dragons, angels, take a few days to reflect on this and come to a decision. The future of all races lies in your hands. The vision vanished before our eyes. My heart is heavy and I feel like I'm suffocating. What happened next, Fafnir? The dragons voted unanimously for the sacrifice of our people. Your mother, Lance, despite everything, she kept looking for another solution. Unfortunately, as you know, she didn't find any. And the angels, what did they decide? Like you saw, the angels were divided on the subject. Part of them accepted the sacrifice, those who followed Lilith, and those who followed Dagon refused, I guess. Yes, they then hunted and killed all the Lilith supporters they encountered. What do you mean? Well, in other words, they initiated their own genocide. What? But why? Dagon considered that if you weren't with him, you were against him. He wanted to put a stop to the creation of Eldarya in this world. This angel's hunt backfired against him. The angels became demons to the world, and false rumors started to spread. What happened to Dagon? He was killed, at least I think he was. Maybe he's the demon with whom Lance partnered, but I imagine I can't ask him for confirmation. His oath would prevent him from answering. In any case, this information puts a lot of things into perspective. The Eldaryans who were manipulated into hating the angels, they don't know the whole truth. Lance, you're not saying anything. He's built a wall of silence, and that can't be good. Let's take a break. Fafnir pointed his wing in the direction of the exit door. I don't think we have a choice. I felt like a wave run through my body. We are back in the present. Lance is God knows where. My heart is pushing me to follow him and try to understand what is troubling him. Talk to Lance. He looks unsettled. Lance. What do you want? He turned around to face me, and for a split second I thought I saw Valkion. I shook my head to make this image leave my mind. I'm totally confused. How are you? It's casual chat. Why do you care? It's strange, but despite the fact that you hate me, I'm still worried about you. What? Lance's face suddenly displayed an undecipherable expression. Is he uncomfortable with my sudden concern for him, or is he annoyed? Probably annoyed. Whatever it was, I looked away. I don't have the strength to confront him again. He walked away and then turned around. What are you waiting for? Come. Oh, okay. If he's not going to talk, why does he want me to follow him? Lance keeps changing directions. I don't understand where he's going with this. Perhaps he only needs a change of air and wants to keep an eye on me at the same time. We've been walking in silence for a while now. We can't just stay like this, it's pointless. Don't you want to talk about this? I mean, I know Valkion, and I'm pretty sure he would be in the same sort of distress if he knew what happened to your mother. Probably shouldn't bring up his brother. Don't play nice with me. I know very well that you hate me. I don't hate you. You're right. If you want to stay alone and brood, fine. Yes, but I still feel bad for you. I hate your actions, not you. Yeah, let's go with that one. I do this because I want to. I know, but I can't help but feel that there is still some good left in you. I thought he was going to be like, you're stupid. I don't understand why our mother chose to sacrifice herself and abandon us. She could have sacrificed us along with all of them. She was your mother. It's normal that she wished for her children to know the world for which she sacrificed herself. I would have rather died. Whoa, what? Lance's admission devastated me. It's awful to think something like this. Do you think it would have actually changed something? Don't say that. As if it mattered to you. It does. I can't let you say that without reacting. Every life matters to me, Lance. It's true, it doesn't. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go with this one. Lance, why is this of so much importance to you? Lance remained silent. I went to him and put a kind hand over his shoulder. Talk to me. I can hear everything. Without any reason, Lance opened up to me and told me about his childhood with Valkion. Valkion and I woke up in a volcano, 20 or 25 years ago, I don't remember. I'm losing sense of time. I came out first and then saw my brother being born. He seemed more comfortable than I was in that environment that I found a bit too hot for me. Probably because you're a dragon of ice. Yes, probably. Then we grew up in a village lost in the middle of nowhere. People were nice and kind to us. If all the fairies were as nice as they were, I would have never broken the crystal. Were as nice as they were. Lance, like everywhere, you have good and bad people. The world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mix of colours, values, and points of view. You can't punish the world because of the mistakes of a minority. You don't know what I know. All right. Well, now I do. May I remind you that we saw the memories of your mother together. All of my life, I have hidden my true nature, and so did my brother. We grew up thinking that it was the dragons who had created Eldarya, when in fact they were sacrificed. It was their choice. You were not forced to do this. They were not forced to do this. Lance didn't hear me and started spewing blue flames. Jesus. I watched him, gaping. He looked so helpless. I still couldn't understand why he hated the fairies so much. Then he confessed one of the many wrongdoings of the Elgard and the fairies to me. I shivered. I was so horrified. Oh God, here comes the tea on the guard. So, do you understand why now? I will destroy this world, and I will take every single one of those fairies to the grave with me. That was another time. Miko would have never supported such a decision. I can't believe the fairies and the Elgard chased the rare descendants of the dragons, hoping that would restore balance to the crystal. Of course they did. That said, it makes sense. They did the same with the angels, even if it were the rumours spread by Dagon, which were the cause of the genocide. Valkion was right to be afraid of confessing his true dragon nature, but I mustn't forget that times have changed. But despite everything, I still couldn't process this information. How could the Elgard, guardian and protector of the crystal, commit such an abomination? How could the fairies, after everything that the dragons had sacrificed for them, get their hands dirty too? Fear couldn't explain everything. Nothing could, as a matter of fact. I must return. I need to understand why she chose this world over us. Lance, wait. Wait! Follow Lance no matter where he's going. Lance, I will follow you anywhere. Lance is here. He's talking to Fafnir. Why? All I'm asking is why. Follow me and you... I don't want to follow you and see my mother again. I can't. It's not something I can explain, Lance. You need to see it to understand it. I know. You keep repeating it. I went to Lance and laid my hand on his forearm. I startled him. Lance, we need to keep exploring your mother's past if you wish to get answers. I promise you I will stay by your side. Always. He lowered his head before nodding. We're back to the Memoria of the past. Hundreds of dragons are flying around and treading upon these lands. It seems the blue sacrifice is to be held soon. Fafnir and the mother of the guys are talking. The mother of the guys. She has a name. Lance and I went closer to listen to the conversation and try to get answers. Are you sure? Yes, the test is positive, Fafnir. There hasn't been one single born dragon in more than 100 years. This is excellent news. It means the resurrection of our people. You think, but don't you think the others are going to see me as selfish to not sacrifice my children? I don't think so, but it makes you feel better. If it makes you feel better, we can keep the news to ourselves. Did you tell your husband? Not yet. I'm afraid of telling him he's going to be the father of kids that he will never know. Tia, I will repeat this. You don't need to sacrifice yourself. I am not forcing any of us to go through with this. I know, but I want to be here for my people. I'm torn between taking my sons along with us for the sacrifice or giving them a chance to live a long and peaceful life. Your sons? I saw them, Fafnir. White hair, blue eyes for one, and golden for the other. They were so beautiful, so tall. I don't feel capable of committing them to this choice. I understand, and what's more, the sacrifice must be done willingly. Yes, and how could they decide when they're not even born yet? Fafnir, what should I do? We will protect your children. Tia's silhouette vanished, brushed away by the breeze. I still don't understand her choice. She could have stayed with us. Come this way. He pointed in the direction of the beach. I'm guessing we must go there. A few days after telling me this great news, your mother went to the beach. She was about to leave to take you to the island where you were born. She wanted to do this alone, but your father was clairvoyant and had understood everything. Oh, God. Did you actually think I wouldn't get it? Come on, Tia. You could never lie to me. Your parents went together to your birthplace. They came back a few weeks later after leaving you there. They seemed at peace. A few days later, they went through with the sacrifice. Show me. Show you what? My parents' last minutes. Are you sure? I need to see everything that happened. The dragons are all gathered around the plains of Memoria. There are also many Fenwangs and fairies of different races. They're looking at the dragons and thanking them profusely. I can't hold back my tears in front of this scene. The atmosphere is so heavy that my legs are shaking. The wind seems to be carrying the tears and the hopes of all the fairies. I can feel my guts twist now that I know what happens afterwards. Fafnir came close to me and pointed in the direction of a group of people who looked totally normal compared to the unicorns, satyrs, and the harpies standing by their side. Who are these people? Humans. Humans. Yes, they are here to show their support and remember the fairies' sacrifice done to maintain the balance between our two worlds. And who do you see among them? Mother, why is she hugging them? Well, the young lady your mother is hugging is your cousin. Your uncle fell in love with a human. What? That's why your family likes the humans so much. They are part of your family. So there are plenty of other dragons still alive. Valkion and I are not the only ones who survived. Mixed blood, yes, but their powers will never equal those of a true-blooded dragon like you. However, the blood has been diluted a lot with time, and our rare human descendants don't have much dragon left in them. For those who have managed to escape the madness of the Eldaryans. Fafnir's eyes darkened. That's true, but when you think about it, it's a bit like Eri, who's an angel. Her blood is... Oh God, he didn't know about this, did he? Her blood is diluted, and she is one of the only ones left of her race. What? Oh shit, you didn't know. Now I understand why he treasured you so much. Lance walked to me looking furious. It's not my fault, Jesus. If you were so precious to him, it was only because he wanted to... Lance fell to the ground and brought his hand to his heart. It's most certainly because of his oath. Let's take him back to the real world. Okay. We carried Lance to the real world, outside the sphere. We took him to one of the rooms nearby so he could recover. Then Fafnir left. I'm alone with Lance, who's unconscious. Now's my chance. No, I'm kidding. I would never. I should take advantage of that and go, but at the same time, is it reasonable to leave him here by himself? Go and get help. Run away. Go and get help. I can't leave him like this. He needs help. At first I went to the camp in order to find someone who could help. But there's no one here. The fire seems to have been off for a few hours already. I called Orion's name several times, but no one answered. We are back into the real world, and yet I can't even see a Malix around. How strange. And of course, no first aid kit anywhere to be seen. Do they not know anything about first aid? Anyway, staying here and getting upset on my own is pointless. Maybe I should check the beach. They might be getting stuff from the boat. Or they might have just left. No one here either. I look for the others, but I can only spot empty boats with no oars. They probably took them out so I wouldn't escape. I focus my eyes on the boat. I think I can see people on the deck. Hey ho, boat. I gestured like crazy, but nobody seems to notice me. They are really a big bunch of losers. Their boss is not going well, and it proves impossible to find someone to help me. Big bunch of losers. I will never again question the organization of the guard about this. I suppose they're not all on the boat. I will look elsewhere and keep my fingers crossed I will find somebody. Hey, ho, hey. Is anyone here? It's Airy and I'm free. Hello, I'm escaping. Does anyone care? I can only hear the echo of my voice. I'm starting to wonder whether I should not escape for real. Escape, considering no one's here to watch me. No, I can't leave Lance like this. Come on, this can't be. Is there not one living soul on this damn island? Where are they? Where are they all gone? Maybe I should go back to check on Lance. I heard a branch crack. There you are. You thought you could actually escape from me. Do you think I'm actually stupid enough to give you the possibility to leave? I wasn't escaping, actually. He walked to me holding his weapon. His eyes are ice cold. This time, he's not joking. Lance was back on foot and with full strength. And I found out that trying to help him hadn't helped me at all. Scared by the energy that is emanating from him, I backed away. More than ever, I was afraid of him, of what he was going to do to me. When he rose his sword, I covered my face with my arms. My thoughts turned to the person who would become everything to me. Oh, that's alright. Nevra exists. That's alright. Speaking of the... What's going on? Speaking of the Minaloo, what happened to him? Did he get eaten up by the marriage that Lance had thrown at him? It's time to uncover the story about what happened that day. Okay. Airy. Even if I knew there wasn't much hope, I had to go after Lance. Knowing that Airy was held prisoner by this monster was driving me crazy. I had to save her and protect her. I had to face it. I had failed. The ship where she was held hostage was heading away, and herds of creatures were swimming in my direction. I immediately recognized the dreadful Marits. They were fed by all the sailors of Eldarya, and for good reason. These fairies usually ate their prey alive. I tried to elude them, to not let them touch me, counting on my natural speed. But I wasn't fast enough. Oh God. One of the Marits grabbed my legs and pulled me deep into the ocean. I struggled fiercely. I couldn't let that creature take the upper hand, and also, I knew I only had a few minutes left before going insane. I had nothing to lose. I was a vampire, and I didn't need much air to breathe. I could keep going with the little air bubbles from the water around me. I grabbed the dagger hanging on my hip and lifted my leg to my chest in order for the Marid to get closer. He understood what I was undertaking and turned around and challenged me. The creature let go of me and displayed a sneering smile. I could easily see how much pleasure she was getting from playing a bit with her prey. What does this thing look like? I was thinking of like a sea serpent. This is when my mind lost focus. The hideous face of the Marid became even more deformed and looked like it was melting through the water, which had become a huge ocean of lava. What is going on? Part of me knew I was experiencing hallucinations because of the Marids, but the other part just couldn't put things into perspective. A feeling of dread overcame me and I was short of breath. My heart started racing to the point of explosion. But suddenly, through the water, I was enveloped by a soft and warm light, and Aries' face appeared before me. I couldn't hold back a tear knowing that this was only a vision, that I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but nevertheless, I abandoned myself to her. I was sure I was going to die, so I might as well die a happy man. You're not going to die. You're not going to die. Eri made the creature get away from me and brought me back to the surface. I could breathe again, but I was having a hard time staying awake. You're hallucinating. A few minutes later, I woke up lying on the beach. The boat was gone, and I was still having hallucinations. The clouds in the sky were transforming into unbelievable shapes, and I could hear children's laughter. I tried to focus and deciphered the name of Huang Hua in the hubbub. Horrible things explained to me that they had been sent by Huang Hua and that they had to talk to Miko. But before anything, they had to take me to the infirmary. Okay. I nodded without a word. The Marid's poison is driving me insane. These faces you see around you are not real. Never. You must let this hi-ho Chang take you to the infirmary and not go insane. Okay. Evelyn. Nevra, what happened to you? Who's this creature with you? Huang Hua. It's Huang Hua who... I heard the Hi-Ho Chang. What is a Hi-Ho Chang? Talk to what I supposed was Evelyn. Because of the poison, I can't identify the voices nor the faces of the people talking to me. I have to trust my instinct and not panic. I understand. Put him on the stretcher immediately. I was attacked. Marids. In front of me, Evelyn's body was deformed and she was waving some sort of huge tentacles of light. When she laid them on me, I felt a sharp burn, as if my skin was oversensitive to sun. But this is impossible. Vampires only fear light on Earth, not here, not on Eldarya. Come on, Nevra, focus. Israel, Valkion, hold him still, left hand. Hand me the silver blade and the blood vial on the table. I heard some chanting in Arabic. What? It felt something cold being applied on some parts of my body. However, I can't understand what is being said. My brain is unable to translate the words. It's as if my translation abilities had been altered by the hallucinations. Then a pain even stronger than what I had felt before ran through my body. I started screaming at the top of my lungs as this ritual, this chanting, was shattering my soul to pieces. I am so freaking confused. But soon enough, I fell into some sort of coma. My sight became all blurry and everything went black around me. I had very strange dreams. One of them had Eri in it. Hearing her voice made me feel better. I wanted to be in her arms, to feel her body. I woke up all of a sudden without having been without having been able a taste of my loved one's lips. Okay. I had to face the reality. Eri wasn't there. Nevra, do you hear me? I nodded. You were contaminated by the hallucinogenic poison of the Marids, and we had to treat you. You're fine now, but you need to rest. That's like Evelyn's famous motto. You need to rest. Have you found Eri? No, we're going to figure out a way to save her, but first we need to know where she is. Don't worry, Nevra. We're not going to abandon her. I sighed with relief. Evelyn came to me and told me to rest until further notice. After what I had just been through, I can't contradict her. Before I could let you rest, could you please tell me how you managed to get out of HQ? Lance had erected a magical gate, which was impossible to break through. I don't understand. Miko, can't your questions wait? It's okay, Evelyn. I can talk, even if my thoughts are still a bit messy. I discovered a passage under the cherry tree as I was searching for a way to get out of HQ. I don't know who, but someone had used it just minutes before me. It shut down just after I went through it. The tunnel led to the forest. From there I went to the beach. A tunnel? I was unaware there was one here. Now you know. Thank you for this valuable information. I understand now how Lance could get in and out of HQ all the time. Anyway, get some rest. We will find a way to save Eri. Tell me when you have news. I was counting on it. Can we go back now? Can we go back to Lance now? Miko winked at me and left. Ezreal and Valkion shook my hand before leaving as well. I will come and see you every couple of hours. I'm guessing you'll be in Eri's room. I suppose the work in mine isn't over yet since Lance's raid. Unfortunately, no, haha. Duly noted. Anyway, if you need anything, we're all here for you. Even if the girls are trying to remain positive regarding Eri, I can't help but think about how terrified she must be right now. Not really. I'm having the time of my life, to be honest. If only I could be by her side. When I got to Eri's room, my heart became heavy. This room is so empty without her. I lay in her bed trying to grasp what was left of her smell, but she had been gone so long that there was nothing left. Oh, Nevra. As I was slipping into Morpheus's arms, a familiar voice woke me up in the middle of the night. I stood up and was surprised to see Karen, my sister. Nev, Huang Hua is here. Excuse me? Come and don't argue. All right. Huang Hua is here. How is that possible? Nevra, it's a pleasure to see you here. What happened to you? Nevra, shouldn't you be resting? I was, but Karen told me Huang Hua was here and I didn't want to miss her. Karen, your brother needs to rest. Please don't bother him for nothing. Nothing? Is that what you think of me? Oh. Huang Hua could help us find Eri. Eri has disappeared. Miko, Nevra, I think we have a lot to talk about. Go on, tell me everything that happened. I told Huang Hua what she didn't already know, Eri's abduction by Lance. Miko had been faster than me and had already told her everything else. Unsurprisingly, the news of Eri's kidnapping infuriated Huang Hua, who immediately took charge. Both women talked a good deal of the night, reviewing all the possible rescuing options for Eri. As for me, I went to rest like Miko said. It was frustrating, but if I wanted to save my loved one, I had to be fully recovered. From what I understood, the next morning, a ritual was fixed to bring back Eri. All the members of HQ participated in it, except me. My mind was still clouded by what was left of the Marid's poison. All I remember from this story is that Eri was heading to Memoria, so I had to go there. If you feel up for it, I don't have any objections to you coming. Thank you. What is it? Nothing. I had prepared this whole thing to convince you, and I'm surprised that you agreed to this so easily. It's your girlfriend, after all. I totally understand that you want to take part in this mission. Okay, I will let you get ready. Departure is in a few hours. I'm going to the crystal room. Thanks again, Miko. I quickly went to my room to get some things. Then I went to Eri's room to get one of her scarves. I miss her so much. Oh, we should be leaving soon. Oh, Nevra. Kero rushed to me. Yes? Do you think you could reason Miko for me? What about? Eri's rescue mission. I want to come. I'm sorry, but you'll have to convince Miko on your own. I haven't stopped trying. I'm so frustrated and worried, but she won't hear anything about it. She must have her reasons. I'm as afflicted as you are concerning Eri. I promise you I will bring her back alive, no matter what it takes. Unless she's already dead. Okay, I'm kidding. So it's true. What? You're going to save Eri. It's true. We want to come. I don't think this is possible. Why? It's a dangerous mission, and you think we are too weak. Not at all, but it is out of the question to send my sister to the front along with her best friend. What? You can't be so arbitrary. If you're not happy with this decision, go and complain to Miko about my power abuse. She decided the teams. I'm off. Come, Allie, we need to go and convince Miko. They left. Have fun with that, girls. I felt her hand tap on my shoulder. Hey, I heard you were going on a rescue mission for Eri. Is it possible to come? Yes, but the team is already complete. Oh shoot, I wanted to be part of this rescue mission. See, she is so sweet. I'm sorry. That's fine. Bring her back safe and sound. After a few hours spent waiting for my teammates, we were ready to leave. Lieutenant Israel, Valkion, Evelyn, and a few other members of the guard are coming. I just need to go to the beach to take the boat. The sea wind is brushing over my skin. I can feel the adrenaline running through my body at the idea of seeing Eri again. Don't worry, my love. I will soon be by your side. Oh. Help has finally found its way, but will they be there in time? But the sword eluded me and planted itself into the ground a few inches away from me. Good. For a split second, my heart stopped beating. Lance was standing in front of me, ready to kill me. I had to do something. I had to make him hear the truth, no matter what. I wasn't trying to leave. I was trying to get help. You were in a very bad state. So why are you alone? I couldn't find anyone. I went to the camp, but it was empty. I think some people were on the boat. I waved and called, but no one answered. Doesn't matter. Okay. Let's go back to Fafnir. He's holding me firmly by the wrist. I don't really have a choice. Lance, you're back. How are you? So casual. Better since you've shared your energy with me. You're welcome. It's important to take care of your family, my child. Once again, Lance looked away. Do you understand your parents' decision now? No, I don't, unfortunately, but it did open my eyes to something important. And what would that be? I never should have waged this war without my brother. Whoa. Those words made my blood run cold. Lance is totally blinded by his hatred. What is? Lance froze and looked above my shoulder as if he was expecting someone. Something's wrong. Oh, I wasn't expecting this. What's going on, Fafnir? We have visitors. Visitors? Could it be the Algard? They found me. We must leave as quickly as possible. Let's not waste time. Lance fiercely grabbed my wrist and ordered me to follow him. We got to the beach and I saw fin-hwang boats in the distance. The Kraken is rushing towards them. Nevra, I'm here! Save me! I wanted to rush to the water and meet them, but Lance is still holding me firmly. You are staying with me. Orion, make sure that these losers don't follow us. Understood. Where did he come from? You don't have anywhere to go, and do not count on Fafnir to protect you. He will let Valkyrian in, and the same way he let you sully his realm. Shut up, you fool. He's getting overwhelmed by stress. I must take advantage of that. Lance obviously doesn't know where to hide. This is the perfect moment to make things more complicated for him and try to escape. I kicked him in the tibia. That made him tip over and let go of me for a second. I took that chance to run as far away as possible from him. But he did not let himself be deterred by this, and I soon felt like a rope around my throat. Something that looked like a whip and that was burning my neck slightly. You're not going anywhere. Come here. He yanked the energy rope coming out of his hand. For a minute, I thought I was going to choke. I don't have a choice. I have to follow him again. He just runs around going nowhere. We got to the forgotten cliff. Lance was holding on to me as if I was his only hope. He probably felt, just like me, that this was the end of this crazy chase. Astral, Nevra, Valkyrian, and Liftan arrived a few minutes later, obviously distraught. I could see the fear on their faces at the idea that Lance would push me off the cliff. One more step and she will go directly to the bottom of the ocean. I'm pretty sure he'll do it as well. Lance, don't do this. Think about it. Let him do it. I don't care about dying. You can't let him get away. Don't. Lance hit me in the back, which had the effect of taking my breath away. I saw the guys jump, seeing me cry in pain. I gave them the it's alright look. I was ready to jump if that could enable them to catch Lance. But I could see that they would do everything they could to get me home safe and sound. They were ready to sacrifice the chance to catch Lance in order to save me. I couldn't help but cry. Oh. Everything around me was silence. Even the wind had stopped blowing, as if waiting for the outcome of this story. But nobody could have foreseen the sacrifice that was going to follow. My brother, you have to understand that this guard doesn't care about us. As soon as they have the opportunity, they will sacrifice us for the sake of this world's utopic balance. That's not true. Miko would never do this to us. There are other options. You can still join me. Don't talk nonsense. I know your friends will kill me as soon as they get the chance. Then I guess I will be the one joining you, brother. But you have to let Eri go. What? Valkion, don't sacrifice yourself for me. I'm begging you, please stay. Valkion, what are you talking about? You've gone mad. Valkion, don't do this. He's Batman. Oh god, let's get the first one. Everything will be alright. Don't worry about me. Those words were floating in the air and cutting through my heart like razor blades. The thought of Valkion sacrificing himself for me was intolerable. How could they let him do this? It was insane. Total madness. Ezreal, Nevra, Leaf Hand, stop him from doing this. I'm begging you. Valkion, are you sure? Yes, Lance, let her go. I immediately felt Lance loosen the grip, but the minute after that, a crystal blue wall erected itself around me. Lance had made a move, but he was no fool. He had imprisoned me to protect himself in the event of an attack. Be careful. If you try to hit me or attack me, she will remain trapped in that magical prison. Guys, don't move. Stay here and protect her. Alright. We will, Valkion. I promise. Valkion looked at me one last time. Valkion, what are you doing? Tears started running down my cheeks. Please stay. I am feeling so bad I can't even muster up the strength to say anything. You selfish. Don't go. I feel like this is going to be the deciding factor in maybe an illustration. Oh, I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to go with the second one because I don't even know what to say. I started hitting the walls of my magical prison, but it was pointless. Tears started running down my cheeks, and I didn't try to contain them. Without even looking back, I saw Valkion join Lance's side, who lay a firm hand on his brother's shoulder. I wanted to run after him and hold him back, but the magical prison in which I was trapped was preventing me from going anywhere. I knew it! I knew it! I don't think no one that I have seen has gone in the illustration yet. What are you waiting for? Go after him. Eri, we promised Valkion we wouldn't attempt anything, and you're going to stay there doing nothing to keep your promise. They didn't answer, and that silence terrified me even more. Why were these idiots not doing something? When Lance and Valkion were gone, I felt the energy of the gate wobble. Immediately I threw myself at it to try to break through it. Eri, stop. You're hurting yourself for nothing. But I can't just stay here doing nothing. Seeing them so miffed, I stopped hitting the gate, which slowly disintegrated before me. I was free, but it was at what cost? Then I felt a tremor under my feet. The ground started shaking slightly, and then stronger. I froze, petrified. Goodbye, little brat. What? Who said that? My senses went on high pitch. That voice, it wasn't just any voice, it was Lance's voice. He had done something to this ground, which was now sinking beneath my feet, and as I felt myself fall, I extended my hand in the direction of the guys. In a split second, my entire universe was gone. I fell down the cliff at full speed. Oh my god. Of course it wasn't. The sound of the wind was whistling through my ears and hurting my eardrums. Seconds went by and I was getting ready for impact. I could have died instantly, crushed by the ruthless sea, but I miraculously survived. However, I had fallen with so much speed that I sank directly deep into the abyss. The pressure of the water was too strong for me. I couldn't make it back to the surface. I quickly understood why. My foot was caught in a rock. I couldn't move. and underwater the rock was too heavy to move. I realized that we would never make it and looked desperately towards the surface. That we would never make it? After taking a glance at the last rays of light, I decided to abandon myself to death. Why would you just give up like that? Oh my god, what the hell? How many times is Guardy gonna die, honestly? Alright, what can I say about this episode? I like the beginning of it. I like that there was lots of Lance in it. I like that we can raise our love meter with Lance. I don't know. I don't know what to think about the rest of it. I don't know what to think about the end. I'm most probably going to play it again once or maybe twice and just check out some different options. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I'm just going to be waiting for the next episode, I guess, and find out what happens. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe for more Let's Play, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!